Okay. Hi, everyone. First of all, I'm so grateful for all of you to joining me today because this topic is very personal to me, and I hope I'm not going to get too emotional during the path. Um, and I want to, sorry in advance that English is not my first language, and probably sometimes I will zoom out, zoom in. So yeah. My name is Natalia, and I teach Yin yoga for almost 6 years already. And I'm a Ashtanga practitioner. I will tell my story, and I always used to practice more Yang yoga in my life, and I felt very good when I was practicing Yin yoga. And when I found out about Yin yoga, I thought, oh, sometimes when I feel maybe not that good, or maybe I need to rest, but I want to add more stretching in my practice, I will do Yin yoga. And I was never that serious about that practice. I would use it for maybe during the period or during the times I felt less strong, and I also thought that it's some kind of it cannot be your main practice. That was that was my thoughts. And as you know, I will start here. As you know, almost a year ago, I got into this state of mind when I probably have never been into that state of mind before. I was very blessed with my life, and I was very lucky with my family and friends and experience in my life. But as you all know, 1 year ago, Russian army crossed the border of Ukraine. And that's how my world started to crash. Because I am half Russian and I'm half Ukrainian. My mother is Ukrainian. I spent half of my childhood there. And it is like a second home for me. And yeah, it felt like a car crash that lasts for months. And I remember now I'm able to realize that at that moment I felt lost, and I was still practicing Ashtanga. I was still teaching yoga. I was teaching Ashtanga. I was teaching Hatha yoga at that moment, and I was teaching Yin. And slowly I realized that I have no energy, like I have zero energy to practice Ashtanga. I felt like I really struggled to get on the mat, and I felt like I cannot move. And I quit yoga at all. I was teaching yoga, but I quit my own practice at all. And at that moment, I thought that it's very important to help others who probably felt the same as I did. But the thing was that at that moment, I couldn't, it wasn't like I couldn't, I intentionally suppressed my own feelings, because I thought that I still have my life, I still have my family and friends, I have my job, my home, and what's happening in Ukraine is more important, and people struggle there, and I'm fine here. And of course, with all the media bringing up more and more information, and I felt that I'm stuck in this trap, in this situation, in this country. And the first thing that I thought I want to do is to run away from this problem. And I felt like if I will run away, it's not going to be my problem anymore. But I couldn't. at that moment, the situation back home was that I cannot leave. I couldn't leave. And it was getting worse and worse. I stopped teaching Ashtanga because I felt that if I'm not practicing myself, it's not fair to still teach Ashtanga. So I stayed with the hot yoga and yin yoga. And slowly I started to realize that I feel a bit better after I taught yin class. It was very mild realization at the moment because I still was so much in my head, so much into my head. And I felt like probably I need to go to practice more yin. And since I was teaching in this studio, I started to go to yin classes to my fellow teachers. And slowly I realized that I really crave meditation. Yin practice really brought me this feeling that I was practicing meditation before, but as I said, my main practice was yang practice, yang yoga. I realized that meditation and yin yoga kind of brings me this slight sensation of me being normal again. And my yin classes started to grow. It was more people than I was teaching hot yoga and I was teaching yin yoga. More people were coming to yin classes. And what I found, my realization was that I tend to go to yang classes more. So let's say when everything was fine in my life, I craved this energetic, dynamic practice. And once I felt down, I couldn't find energy to do these energetic practices. And that's my advice to every and each of you. When you feel that you're not able to practice as you used to, when you step on the mat and you feel like you struggle through the practice, sometimes it can be just one day, it's fine, but sometimes it can be weeks, or you can feel yourself that you don't want to go to yoga anymore. It is a great sign. Your body tells you that you need to focus on inner practice. And yin yoga is perfect because you're still able to trick your mind that you're doing something, that you stretching your muscles, that you're doing something for your body, that you're improving your flexibility, let's say this, but it really helps you to bring inner peace. And I also, if you felt this way, like I did, I highly recommend you not only put your trust into yoga. Yes, I said it. I highly recommend you to go out and reach for help. Let's say to go and see the therapist or your fellow yoga teachers, maybe the teachers who teach meditation or teach yin practice. And that's what I did. I started to practice more yin, and I realized that I need help. And even if I was a yoga instructor for so many years, I think this confidence made it worse. Like I thought that I have all the instruments to help myself. Yeah, once I started to see a therapist, once I started to have more yin yoga in my life and to do meditation just for 5-10 minutes in the morning, I started to feel normal again, as I say, normal, as I used to be. And I realized that from that state, I able to help others. I started to teach more Yin. I started to teach more Yin online, and what I found out, the most helpful sequences was one with the kidney meridian and with the heart meridian. As we know, the kidney meridian works for the inner energy, and it brings you more strength. It brings your more ability to face the tough things in your life, let's say that. And the heart meditation, the heart meridians and the sequence with the heart meridians really did help me with understanding of other people, other people doing at the moment, because I face a lot of hate from my foreign friends, and I faced a lot of hate speech in the internet, and I felt like this whole thing about canceling the whole nation just because of the circumstances we got into. It was very stressful, and I was really willing to understand how to go through this without hate in response. And that's what I realized, that when I was practicing heart meridian, it really did help me to realize that we are all lost, and we lost sometimes, and we lose this ability to be understanding, to be loving, to be kind. And that's why in the next hour, I will give you the sequence on the heart meridian. And in the end, I will give you the loving kindness meditation, which is also called metta meditation. It comes with maybe with Vipassana technique, and in this meditation we really try to send and feel love for all living creatures, for every and each of one who walk on this earth, no matter what they say, no matter how they act, how cruel they can be. So also the breathing techniques, I put more intention into knowing which breathing technique will help you with this kind of inner peace, finding inner peace. And what I found the most helpful was two breathing techniques. The first one is when you breathe on the count, let's say count 4, inhalation on count 4, then you hold your breath for 4 counts, and then you exhale on 4. This technique really helps you to stop the anxiety, really stop you this overthinking process, and just focus on how you feel at that moment, how your body feel at that moment, and your mind stop for a moment, because you're so focused on the counting. And once you hold your breath, your diaphragm and really able to relax once you exhale. And sometimes when you're stuck in this situation, when you're overthinking, when you're facing a lot of hate, a lot of stressful situation, your diaphragm got very tense and it cannot relax, and that's how you stop. It can the panic attack can happen. So to prevent this, this breathing technique is very helpful. And also, I found that very helpful is alternative breathing. So I started to add these breathing techniques into my yin practice in the very end before we go to Shavasana, and it really did help a lot of people send me the good feedback on this breathing techniques, as the same as I felt myself. Okay. Also, when I started to practice more yin yoga, I had to come back to my personal story, that why I was practicing a lot of yin yoga in my life, because I was flexible from the very beginning. I was flexible and not strong. And when I was practicing, let's say, vinyasa yoga, I wasn't that aware of how my body works in the beginning. So I was overusing my flexibility. And after a couple of years of practicing vinyasa, I found that I really struggle with my joint pain, especially the knees. That's why I started to look into more practices. That's how I found Ashtanga, and it really did help me to bring more strength. It really helped me a lot to find this balance between my flexibility and strength. And I'm really thankful for Ashtanga in this case. I really love this practice still. What I found out that I still wasn't that balanced in my practice. I balanced this flexibility and strength issue, but I didn't work with my mind much, with the breathing techniques much. I was practicing pretty much only focusing on my body. And that's why when I faced this personal crisis, I realized that the yang practice itself cannot help me at the moment. What I will also advise you when you kind of reflects on your practice, sometimes it can happen that you only stick with the yin practice, and it also brings imbalance in your life if you're not working with the strength. Because that's what I found out when I started to teach yin. When I started to teach yin for the teachers, when on the yin teacher course, teacher training course, that some people started practice only in yoga because they feel that it really helps them, with the mental issues, with it really helps them with some serious problems they came with, and they decided that this practice is the only practice they need. It's how you can practice only meditation and think that it's enough. And the main thing that I wanted to share in this talk is that, of course, we always look for a balance. That's what we say. But sometimes when we really enjoy the practice, we can get into this trap that it's only one thing that I need. Like when we just come in a yoga class, we think that, okay, maybe hatha yoga is my thing. Then you try vinyasa and you say, oh, vinyasa is perfect for me because it's so interesting, it has music and everything is so beautiful and flowy. And then you stick with this practice. Or sometimes it can be Kundalini yoga or Jivamukti yoga or Yin yoga. And once you enjoy it so much, you think that's the only thing you need. But as we say in yoga, that sometimes that the asanas that we don't like, or the asanas we don't enjoy that much is the most important for us. That's the thing. I remember when I was practicing vinyasa and Ashtanga yoga, I thought that meditation, it's not so interesting to me yet. So maybe I will practice it later. So I was focusing on one part, and I completely ignored the other. So as it was helpful, I hope it was helpful for you. So don't just think that we're looking for a balance. Add more practices in your life. If you focus on yin practices, add something that would energize your body, let's say this way. Balance find balance in your practice as well. What else? Maybe if you have any questions, I would love to answer, or if, yeah, I see something. Yeah, it's just hard here. Oh, also, what probably you see the the things behind my back, the sound healing. Yeah, I would like to share my sound healing experience as well. Like the combination of what I use to get back to my normal, usual state of mind was yin yoga 2 to 3 times per week. It was also once a week I would go for massage, and I really recommend you to try Shiradhara massage. It's the one with the oil that drops into your third eye area. It really helped you to relax the entire body. That's what I felt much better afterwards. And of course, the therapist also once or twice, sometimes twice per week. It was my routine. And after, let's say, after 1 month of this routine, I felt so much better. And that's what I wanted to share with you. Of course, I hope you would never get into this kind of experience that I did, but maybe it would be it would be useful to you. Yeah, thank you. Also, music, the sound healing, the music really did help me through this time. I started before, I would never use the singing bowls on my practice. I even tried to play on the singing bowls, and actually I failed a few times, and I thought maybe I need to go and take a lessons, and maybe I would do it later. But the funny thing that when I really needed it the most, I started to play on the singing bowls, and it really helped me get to relax, to get into this state of mind I really needed. And I started to include it in my classes as well, that I will also play for you. Vibration of the singing bowls. And of course, yoga nidra. Yoga nidra helped me to fix the problems that I started to have with my insomnia, with my sleep. And I started to practice yoga nidra. Let's say every single time I couldn't go sleep, and I started to just 15 minutes of yoga nidra, and sometimes 30 minutes, and I felt so much better. Let's say not every single time, but sometimes I will fall asleep after 3 to 5 minutes of listening to Yoga Nidra. It could be really helpful as well. Sometimes, not only before I go to bed, if I have time, I can listen to Yoga Nidra. Let's say I'm waiting for something in my car, or I would be at home, and instead of scrolling the news, scrolling the Instagram, I would go and listen to Yoga Nidra at that moment. Or sometimes when you feel like you stuck in this overthinking, like what you could could have done, or what you did, or maybe you have not done enough. I also would recommend you to listen to Yoga Nidra. Yeah, how have you been using metta meditation in relation in your experience? Thank you for the question. As I said, once I will face this hate in the internet, maybe it was not towards me, it would address all Russians, like this hashtag Russia is a terrorist state, and let's say something like this, or any hate, because as I said, I have a lot of Ukrainian friends, and of course we're still in touch, because they treat me a bit different, as I said before, as a half Russian, half Ukrainian, but still what they would say in their stories, what they would say in their posts, and all this the thing that, like me now being able to change the situation, I was using this meditation to be more understanding, how they feel, and to be able to send them this kind of love, this kind of yeah, it really did help me to not to get involved in this hate speech, not to get involved, not to start to argue, but start to be more understanding and be more kind. Maybe you can also use it when you feel like the most important thing is our family, the close one, the most important people in your life. Sometimes they can be cruel, and sometimes you can be cruel in response. You can start getting angry and get into this loop when you cannot feel better. And of course, metta meditation will help in this case as well, to start slowly, little by little, start to be more understanding, because as I said before, we are all lost in this world, and we're trying to find light, and the meditation is the best thing, I'd say the best thing, to find this light, to realize that all living creatures deserve love, and sometimes we will get angry, or we can get cruel because we're not receiving enough love, or we haven't received enough love in our life. And of course, in the situations like this, once people losing their home, they losing their normal life, and they see the enemy, the reason why they losing their home, they losing their beloved ones. Of course, they will put whole whole hatred on the people, on the whole country, on someone they can blame for definitely. I mean, it's hard. It's understanding, and of course you sometimes can feel frustrated and you want to fight back. It's a normal response, but you won't get anything out of it. You only able to 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 bring, like, I love to say, I love to use those words that let's hatred stop on me. Let's all the bad things, let's them stop on me, and let's love and kindness starts from me. I hope it as it makes sense. Hope it does make sense. What kind of hate you face in internet? I do not think we are all lost. Some people have a core. Sometimes you really need to take sides and from opinion who you are as a human being and where you belong, instead of delighting your ethical choices and messages and love and peace, blah, blah. Yeah, I think that's what I felt in the beginning. My first thoughts was that I need to leave the country as soon as possible, and I thought that it will solve all my problems. Like, let's say, as you said, that I thought that I need to take sides, and as soon as I will take a side, I will feel better. But after some time passed, and of course I've been traveling in this last 1 year, I realized that whenever it doesn't matter if you go and you run away from the problems. That's how I feel now, that the first decision was to run away and say that, okay, I took my side. I no longer consider myself as Russian, or let's say, like, I ran away from the problems and it's not longer my problem. Now I realize that it's also some kind of misleading way to run away. It's so much harder to stay and to find your way here. As I realize now, I'm able, from this state I am now, I'm able to help people that felt the same way as I did. And I'm able to share this experience, because once you take sides, you keep choosing the way of hatred. You keep choosing, this is bad, this is good. You keep separating the world on white and black, and as the yin yang sign says, that it's nothing that only white. It has a drop of black in it, and nothing pretty much black. It has a drop of white in it. And that's what, this whole situation brought me to the to realize. It helped me to realize this. Beautiful approach when you cannot change something on an individual level in such a big, overwhelming situation. Thank you. That's we always say in yoga, right? We always say, if you cannot change the way things are or where you are at the moment, then start to focus on yourself. Of course, I knew this. Of course, I heard it a lot of times. But once you into this situation, that's why I keep repeating, please reach out and ask for help, because sometimes it's different things to realize or to know something and to be able to do this. And that's why, if you notice that you're not able to do your usual routine or practice as you used to practice, or you quit practicing yoga at all, it's a good thing to reflect on, to realize that something is so off, something is so wrong, and reach out and ask for help. Yeah, and of course, yin practices, yoga nidra, meditation, it really helps. It really helps you to truly look inwards and to find this core, to be able to live, yeah, to stay, to still live and find the joy in your life, because still, as you know, the situation is not solved yet, and it's not like I feel better about it. I feel I think I found the core to be able to not to freeze or not to get too much deep into this state of that nothing else gonna be okay anymore, or stop living your life or something like this. And I started to realize that still life goes on, because once I got into this situation, I realized that war was going all over the globe somewhere, but it was so far from me. And I felt like, oh, it's far away and it's not my business, something like this. Or I would post something in my stories and say, pray for someone or pray for this country. And I felt like I did enough. That's what I felt. But once you got into this situation, that you realize that it's completely different once you involved, especially in this way, like you feel guilty, like you feel that you haven't done enough, or like you have to do something, or something like this, and you find yourself in this moment that you cannot move forward, like all of your dreams crushed just in one day, let's say, all of your thoughts about the people that you were surrounded by, or about the perspective you have, or your country used to have, like it all crashed. The main thing also I brought up through this from this situation is that we only have this illusion that we control our life, that we are in control of what's happening in our life. It is truly an illusion. It can break in one day. And the only thing that you can do is to find this inner core. You can find things to focus on, your beloved ones, or to something that you can do about it. And that is with what yin yoga can really be helpful. And of course, some sequences focused on some meridians are especially helpful. And meditation, yes, perfect combination. So, Sally, I guess it was everything that I wanted to share, but we still have 15 minutes. Maybe we can start to prepare for the practice. The one who's willing to stay for the practice can prepare for this practice, maybe grabbing the blankets and pillows. What do you think? Or maybe I can answer a few more questions. Oh yeah, and metta meditation, as I said, that I learned at Vipassana practice. I was lucky enough to translate a couple of teachers on Vipassana courses, and what I found during this process, I realized that people, as in yoga practice sometimes, or even in meditation, even in yoga practice, we tend to, we're willing to go further. We want to improve our flexibility. So we're trying to, even in yin practice, we're trying to stretch deeper, going into the stretch, or in yang practices, we willing to do more. And the same thing happens in the meditation, during the meditation. Like people think that, let's say, I need to sit with my spine straight, I need to sit without movement, or let's say if I feel pain, I need to overcome this pain, because during the meditation, it can be, it's okay to feel pain, this kind of things. And let's say metta meditation, it is very important that during metta meditation, you feel no pain, you feel no struggle, because it's a very essential, it's a very important thing that once you feel good, you're able to send your love, you're able to feel love. And that's the main thing during the yin practice as well. You can feel pain, but it has to be like, it's better be the pain that sometimes we feel it feels good when we have pain in muscles, we have stretch in muscles. And the same thing during the metta meditation. If you feel your feet getting numb and it's okay, then you can keep on practicing. Same thing during the yin practice. If it feels okay, if this pain is okay, then you keep on practicing. Take questions. Let's take a short break. Yes, Vicky, thank you. Thank you for being here. Yes, let's take a little break. Thank you, everyone. I'm very grateful for you all to be here. Thank you. Yeah, for yin practice and meditation. Thank you, guys. Okay.